Andiamo.
So this is something I feel like, if I was the president, and it's unlikely that that is ever going to happen.
You never know.
If I was the president...
It was unlikely that I was going to be president.
The moment I was inaugurated, my hand would just, it'd still be hot from touching the Bible, and I would immediately race to wherever they have the files about Area 51 and the UFOs, and I'd go through everything to find out what happened.
Right.
Did you do that?
That's why you will not be president.
The
aliens won't let it happen. You reveal all their secrets. They exercise strict control over us.
Now, you know, there are a lot of people that are going to examine your facial expressions here, every twitch, everything, and say, and of course, so did you look? Did you see? Did you explore?
I can't reveal anything.
Oh, really? Because President Clinton said he did go right in, and he did check, and there was nothing.
Well, you know, that's what we're instructed to say.
It would be easier to rob a bank than to break into Area 51.
It's the size of Connecticut. How are they going to patrol all that?
No one has ever seen footage of the base, and we could be the first ones to do it. What could be bigger than that?
Before my dad disappeared, he asked me to move all of his files to someplace secret.
Everything above ground is just a front. The real base is a mile underground.
There's motion sensors, there's ammonia sensors, but we're going to get around it.
These neomycin pills will mask our ammonia levels. Thermal cameras all around the base pick up your body heat. So we're going to pump Freon through the suit, and they'll mask our body temperature.
Doing this.
Something happened to me.
I don't see Reed. I think he is lost.
Whole bunch of missing time. Something is pulling me towards the base.
I didn't think it was actually going to get this far.
Let's go.
You really ready for the consequences?
Am I clear? Yeah, let's go.
There it is. This is Area 51. The helicopter, get down, get down, get down!
Keep moving.
Turn on the thermal. The last buttons pressed will be the warmest. It goes way down there. What is this?
Look at this. Anti-gravity.
This is not military technology. This is something else. Dude, there's white blood in there.
This is huge.
Oh. Check this out. These cages?
And they look like holding cells.
Oh my God. Why are these down here?
We gotta find another way out. Oh my God.
One of them's open. You hear that?
They're coming! Get out of here! Whoa, whoa, whoa! It's right behind you!
Le chef de l'Église catholique a demandé dimanche à des milliers de pèlerins rassemblés pour la messe sur la place Saint-Pierre au Vatican de prier pour le dialogue pacifique en République démocratique du Congo. C'était lors de la prière de la bénédiction hebdomadaire de l'Angelus. Je vous demande à tous de prier pour que le dialogue en République démocratique du Congo
Quand un chrétien trace sur lui le signe de la croix en disant « Au nom du Père et du Fils et du Saint-Esprit », il résume le cœur de sa foi. Il y a trois personnes en un seul Dieu. C'est le mystère de la Sainte Trinité.
Celui du verset de l'Apocalypse. Que celui qui est doué de l'esprit calcule le nombre. Ce nombre, c'est le 666. Et tout le symbolisme est là. Que celui qui est doué de l'esprit calcule le nombre. Car c'est un nombre d'hommes, et son nombre est 666. Avec la table de 1 de gématrie, nous pouvons formuler des phrases entières. La table de l'alpha est l'instrument de Dieu, donné pour des raisons de vérité. La gématrie est l'instrument de la vérité. Si la table de 1, la table de l'alpha, est de source divine, comme nous l'avons vu, il en va de même pour la table de 9. La table de l'oméga, elle a aussi sa propre légitimité, qu'elle vient du Dieu. Les pères de l'Église retracent qu'ils se sont aperçus que les 6 premiers chiffres romains, additionnés dans leur ordre naturel, avaient pour résultat le nombre 666. Si nous prenons ces mêmes lettres romaines que nous retrouvons dans notre alphabet, si nous soumettons ces 6 lettres à la table de 9 de gématrie, nous obtenons également, par miracle, le nombre 666. La table de l'oméga reçoit, elle aussi, sa légitimité divine. Ces deux coïncidences incroyables, c'est le Dieu qui nous les offre, au-delà des siècles, et tout cela sans intervention humaine. Le hasard n'est pas.
Le CERN, le Centre européen pour la recherche nucléaire, est à nouveau sous les feux de l'actualité avec un nouvel incident qui risque de ternir une fois de plus l'image de la prestigieuse organisation. Il faut savoir que depuis l'affaire de la disparition d'un physicien aspiré par un mini-trou noir engendré par le grand accélérateur de particules, les ingénieurs du CERN travaillaient sans relâche pour recréer les conditions de l'expérience permettant de faire réapparaître le malheureux scientifique projeté bien malgré lui dans l'hyperespace. À ce sujet, les chercheurs ont-ils mesuré tous les risques que présentait leur périlleuse expérience ? Dans leur vaine tentative, ont-ils eu conscience qu'ils jouaient aux apprentis sorciers en s'aventurant imprudemment sur les terres inconnues de la physique cosmologique? Toujours est-il que les galeries techniques du CERN sont depuis le siège de terrifiants phénomènes dignes des plus grands films fantastiques d'anticipation. Des insectes parasites géants s'apparentant à la famille des arachnides ont envahi par centaines les couloirs du centre de recherche à l'occasion du déclenchement de nouveaux mini-trous noirs créés par le grand collisionneur de hadrons. Surgissant à la faveur de la création de ces singularités cosmologiques, ces affreuses bestioles possèdent des dimensions terrifiantes de plusieurs mètres d'envergure et n'hésitent pas à s'attaquer au personnel afin de satisfaire leur vorace appétence pour la chair humaine.
5e ange sonna de la trompette. Je vis une étoile qui était tombée du ciel sur la terre. Il lui fut donné la clé du puits de l'abîme afin qu'elle l'ouvrît. Puis il monta du puits une fumée comme celle d'une grande fournaise. Le soleil et l'air furent obscurcis par la fumée du puits. De la fumée sortirent des sauterelles qui se répandirent sur la terre. Il leur fut donné un pouvoir comme celui des scorpions de la terre. Il leur fut dit de ne point faire de mal à l'herbe de la terre, ni à aucune verdure, ni à aucun arbre, mais seulement aux hommes qui n'avaient pas le sceau de Dieu sur le front. Il leur fut donné non de les tuer, mais de les tourmenter pendant 5 mois. Le tourment qu'elle leur causait était comme le tourment que cause le scorpion quand il pique un homme. En ces jours-là, les hommes chercheront la mort, mais ils ne la trouveront pas. Ils désireront mourir, mais la mort fuira loin d'eux. Ces sauterelles ressemblaient à des chevaux préparés pour le combat. Il y avait sur leur tête comme des couronnes semblables à de l'or. Leurs visages étaient comme des visages d'hommes. Elles avaient des cheveux comme des cheveux de femmes, et leurs dents étaient comme des dents de lion.
Yes, well, as we get older and older, I'm 77 right now. You can't live forever, you know. So, if this procedure I'm going to have to clean the blood doesn't work, then I've got probably a few more months to make it before my kidneys shut down, you know. So that's kind of why I'm kind of going along with the interview at this time.
You're seeing that what you went through is just too important for people not to know about.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you just, can we start at the beginning with your military career and just walk through what exactly your experiences were?
Was drafted into the military and got into the U.S. Army. After that, I was sent to the Signal Training Center in eastern United States.
What year would this be?
58. I went through the Signal Training course. And at that time, I went through the radio teletype course and also the cryptography course, crypto. They had 5 instructors that were getting out of military service. So they pulled the top 5 students, and I was 3rd in the class. So I got pulled as an instructor.
Now, were you at this time also working yet for CIA?
No.
Not yet?
No. After one day, my boss came to me, and he said, how would you like to, make some extra money? And I said, oh, money is good. So he's explained to me that he could put it through, would have to get a top secret White House Q clearance for the job, And I thought, boy, must be a pretty exclusive thing, And I said, well, what is this? And he said that I'm director for the CIA for Eastern United States, And I said, oh, I didn't know that. And he said, you weren't supposed to. After about 6 weeks, my security clearance came through, and I got my CIA card. It was an ID card, like a credit card, where I could just go up to the door and slice it, walk right in. And my name at that time, I used a artificial name too. Never used my real name. I started working with him on the project he was on, and that was Project Blue Book, which was kind of partially a fraud.
You're saying some of the Blue Book cases were,
Yes.
were completely fictitious?
Yes. But the cases that we got came from, I think it was Fort Belvoir, Maryland.
Fort Belvoir?
Yeah, and it didn't come from the Pentagon or it didn't come from CIA headquarters. But we would get reports about a certain sighting that they had in Mexico or Italy or something like that. And then we had people that would follow through on it, that would go out and interview the people to see if they were nutcases or if it was real, you know.
So they'd be going overseas frequently?
Yeah, I wasn't, but I always stayed statewide. But the people we had working with us from the CIA would do that. We would get like a new report probably a couple times a week. I was coming into the Army fresh off the farm, you know, so I really didn't have much knowledge of anything, but my boss filled me in on Project Blue Book and what they had found so far, as far as grays and aliens and the Roswell incident.
How did you feel when this first got dumped on you? When you first learned about this?
I was just kind of overwhelmed with all of this, you know. And I said to him, I don't know if I'm going to be able to be a judge of this type of thing. What's real, what's not, when I don't have much knowledge of it, you know. So...
What did he say?
He said, well, we have to build the information as we go, and you'll see how this thing is working out.
And then the other thing is, of course, you really weren't able to tell family or close friends, obviously.
No, I couldn't tell anybody. In fact, I had to take a vow that I wouldn't tell anybody. A lot of it for 40 years, and more of it for 50 years, which is up in 2010.
You're doing all this crypto work, you're looking at images, photographs, video. It's 1958, maybe the fall of 58. What happened after this?
At that time, the Project Blue Book thing kind of went pot, you know. If you remember, back in those days, they kind of declared it as a nothing, you know.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And
they were telling the world all UFOs are misidentifications, hoaxes,
balloons,
psychological issues, whatever.
Yes.
Yeah.
So my boss came to me and he says, we've both got a new assignment. And he says, oh, I said, where are we going? Oh, he says, we're going to the Capitol. We're going to be part of the Eisenhower push. He's trying to find out something about, all about these aliens that MJ-12 was supposed to find out, but never sent back reports to him.
The MJ-12, the UFO control group, were they calling it MJ-12 at that time? Yes.
They called us in, went into the Oval Office, and President Eisenhower was there and Nixon, and they said, we called the people in from MJ-12 from Area 51 and S4, but they told us that the government had no jurisdiction over what they were doing. So being a general, past general, you didn't tell them to go to hell without any real good reason, you know. Mm-hmm. So he said, I want you and your boss to fly out there. I want you to give them a personal message. And he says, I want you to tell them, whoever is in charge, tell them that to get in, they have this week, coming week, to get into Washington and to report to me. And if they don't, I'm going to get the First Army from Colorado, and we're going to go over, we're going to take the base over. I don't care what kind of classified material you got. we're going to rip this thing apart.
Eisenhower was going to invade
Yes,
Area 51.
Yeah, with the First Army.
So you go out with your superior.
Yes.
You fly out. You land. What happens? Can you describe this whole process, what you saw?
They took us the 13 or 15 miles south to S4 and like different garage door openings.
Okay.
And in these garage door openings, they had like different saucer crafts. The very first one had the Roswell craft in. It was kind of crashed up, but apparently every alien that was in it died except for a couple. Well, the Roswell craft was really strange because it looked like real heavy aluminum foil. We could rock next to it, and you could rock it. The whole thing probably weighed 150, 300 pounds.
Could they tell what the source of power was of this craft?
Yeah, it was like a reverse gravitational thing of some kind. In fact, one later on, I got the mathematical code for reversing gravity in a 3x5 card. I guess there are different types of grays and so on.
How did you see that evidence?
Well, at the later on at S4, we viewed the autopsy film, and then the colonel said, "What we've got in here is we're interviewing a gray alien."
All right, right there. How did you feel at that moment?
Well, I thought, boy, we had no idea we were going to see the real thing. All we saw was film.
You had to have a little bit of heart racing at that moment.
My boss was able to go in and had a partial interview with him.
So what did this gray alien look like? Could you describe him a little bit?
This one looked a little bit oriental. It didn't look human as far as the skin tone and basically the shape of it and the size.
How was its head size compared with a normal human, for example?
Brain was kind of a little bit bigger. And some of the nose was very, very small. And the ears were just like holes. Mouth was very small.
Now, why were they bringing you out here at all, anyway, to see an alien? What was the point?
To go back and tell the president they actually had one.
So he did not know at this point if there was an alien at S4?
No.
What did you do then at Area? Were you done, or did you have other things to do with
Yeah,
S4?
so basically we were kind of done, went back to Area 51. They took us into the main building, and there we saw a U-2, which of course we didn't know existed. And a model of the SR-71.
Yeah, the Blackbird.
So, but like I mentioned earlier, it was not a model of the current Blackbird.
It's an earlier version.
But an early version.
Did you go directly to Washington after this?
Yes.
Or did you go somewhere else? How did they get, did you fly regular airline or?
We flew back to the commuter plane back to the air base, and then took President Eisenhower's Lockheed Electra back to Washington.
You and your supervisor, superior officer, and now you're meeting with the president?
Yes.
Can you describe this?
Well, we met with him in, the second story of the old OSS warehouse building. And Eisenhower and Nixon were there, and also Hoover was there. So he asked us what was going on, and we told him about the alien, the whole situation, and the black projects and so on, and he was just totally shocked. He appeared for the first time to be worried, you know, like he was worried.
I would think that Eisenhower would, I mean, he certainly knew that flying saucers were real.
Yes.
He knew that there were aliens. So I guess I'm just wondering, what would he have been, you know, really surprised about?
Surprised about the black programs. Eisenhower said, got to keep this thing completely secret. You know, can't talk about this.
Your actual name is, I mean, the name you grew up with, that was a different name than what you had in the...
I never used it in the CIA at all.
Now, what about today? You're going on the public record, and this is still sensitive information, even though earlier you talked about, you know, security oaths that maybe expire after a certain period of time.
50 years.
But you're still concerned.
Linda Moultonow's phone call, her phone was tapped, and they got my phone number, and through the telephone company, they're able to find me, and so on.
When they found you, what happened?
I was going to a grocery store. Two guys in a black suits come out of a black Lincoln town car and came over to see me. And they told me that I'd better not publish anything or talk to Linda about any more things. So at that time, I did, you know, I stopped.
That was enough to intimidate you?
Yes. Rather remain anonymous.